Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Character Analysis. We're going to be talking about Dina today, and we only got a few more characters left in this Last of Us character analysis. Now, as I said, it's not the final. We're going to have plenty. I have plenty of ideas for character analysis, and I'll share them with you guys down the line. We have another. I got another. Games for that. But yeah, so basically, we're going to be talking about Dina today. So Dina is pretty main character. She's Ellie's girlfriend, and she meets here in Last of Us Part Two. So we're gonna be talking about Last of Us Part Two, in this episode. So she's Ellie's girlfriend, which plays a very important part, and she also goes with Ellie to Seattle. So she does play a very important part with with Ellie, of course. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about analyzing Dina as a character as always. Talking about her background and early life and everything that she has to do, and her importance in the story. So, yeah, let's get started here. Now, as always, get my info from the Last of Us wiki. Great site, as always. Yeah, just gonna shout them out. So, her background in early life. Dina was orphaned at a young age, leading her older sister Talia to raise her. At some point prior to 2033, Dina moved to Jackson, Wyoming, and joined the community under the leadership of Maria. During the trip to Seattle, Dina told Ellie her first kill was when she was 10, stabbing a man who tried to attack her mother. She also became acquainted with Jesse, another survivor who lived within the settlement. After Joel and Joel found safety within Jackson, Dina became friends with the former. She also dated Jesse, though they eventually broke up. Yeah, which is very important, that she dated Jesse, which you'll find out later. If you guys already don't know. You'll find out later in this character analysis. I'll talk about it. Let's talk about the events that happened in Last of Us Part 2. A few days after the end of Dina and Jesse's relationship, there's a celebration in the church within the settlement. Dina dances with a man from the group as Jesse and Ellie look on. She invites Ellie, who is drinking at the bar, to dance with her. While dancing, Dina kisses Ellie, remarking that the other boys in the village should be terrified of her, because Ellie has more of a chance with Dina than they do, which it's actually a very important scene. It establishes Ellie and Dina's relationship moving forward. It's a very important scene. It happens towards the end of the game in one of the flashbacks. But yeah, very, very important scene. The day after, Dina and Ellie are assigned to patrol the creek trails, the route which Dina had previously covered with the late Eugene Linden. While on patrol, they talk about their respective previous relationships with Kat and Jesse, the cheesy action films Joel enjoys, and their dreams of traveling to different places. After dealing with numerous infected along the route, strong blizzards develop and they take shelter in a library. Here they discover Eugene had been growing marijuana while sharing an old joint. Dina confronts Ellie about their kiss the previous night, leading to another passionate kiss and the pair consummating their relationship, which basically they had sex together, which once again they had, it's very important, once again, furthers their relationship. I guess that's what consummating means, having sex. I don't really know. Anyways, after a while, Jesse arrives at the library looking for them. He tells them that Joel and Tommy didn't arrive at the lookout as scheduled, they decide to go look for them. Taking different directions, when Dina arrives at the hunting lodge, she finds Joel's corpse and unconscious, beaten Ellie, which we're talking about in Abby character analysis, and probably Joel's character analysis too, what happens. The next morning, Dina is present as Ellie is mourning over Joel's grave. She remarks that Maria locked down the stables following Tommy's departure. Tommy went after the WLF and Abby himself, so Maria locked down the stables, after he left, just to make sure that Ellie and Dina don't leave it. But Ellie, goes back to Joel's house. She picks up his revolver that we saw in the first game and his watch, and picks up a few other things at his house to take after him. And then she goes downstairs and ends up talking with Maria, and Maria ends up letting them go. And obviously Dina is right beside Ellie, to go with her to Seattle. So Dina allows them to go to Seattle, takes her horse, takes some guns, and then let's go to Seattle. Halfway through Dina and Ellie's mission to avenge Joel's death, Dina reveals she was pregnant with Jesse's child, which, like I said back earlier, it's very important that Jesse and Dina had a relationship because, that's what happened with, them. So is pregnant with Jesse's child, and it puts a strain on their relationship. As such, Dina stays behind the theater the pair have established as their hideout, telling Ellie to go find Tommy in the neighborhood of Hillcrest. Before Ellie leaves, Dina gives her a bracelet to wear. 3 hours later, Ellie returns with Jesse. However, she had also had a lead about reaching Abby at Lake Hill Seattle Hospital. She leaves Jesse behind with Dina while she departs to continue on her crusade. When Ellie returns, she learns that Abby is hiding at the aquarium, but she is covered in blood and shaking. Dina helps wash the blood off, and Ellie, traumatized at having tortured Nora, confesses she doesn't want to lose Dina. The next day, Ellie and Jesse leave the theater to go look for Tommy and return with him several hours later. Ellie then lays by Dina's side backstage while watching her struggle with her fever, before leaving to check on Tommy and Jesse in the theater hall. Soon after, Abby finds their location, shoots Tommy, and kills Jesse, which we'll be talking about Jesse too in further character analysis. But yeah, Jesse is currently deceased. I was trying to hold out, to tell you guys that Jesse died until his character analysis, but I figured I couldn't really dance around it. Abby does kill Jesse, unfortunately, so he's deceased. And then engages Ellie in a fight, finding Abby beating Ellie. Dina runs up to Abby, tackles her, and slashes her with a knife. However, Lev shoots Dina through her shoulder, allowing Abby to gain the upper hand and knock Dina out. Ellie pleads with Abby to spare Dina, revealing that the latter is pregnant? I don't know what that means. The latter is pregnant? I don't know. It's fancy words. Is pregnant. Abby, however, says good and prepares to slit Dina's throat, which, it's understandable why Abby wanted to do that because I mentioned it earlier in the other character analysis. Ellie killed Abby's pregnant friend Mel, so it's understandable why she wanted to kill Dina, but she doesn't. So, Lev calls out to Abby, leading her to come to her senses and spare Dina. Afterwards, Dina, Ellie, and Tommy return to Jackson. Almost a year later, Ellie and Dina live on a farm with Dina's son, JJ. While Ellie carries JJ around the farm, Dina washes the dishes and hangs their clothes on a washing line. Ellie puts on some music, and the trio dance to it before Dina pushes her off and insists she has to put out the laundry. While doing so, Dina tells Ellie to put the sheep back in the barn so they can eat. However, in the process of rounding up the sheep, Ellie has a traumatic flashback to her being unable to save Joel at the moment of his death. Hearing her screams, Dina rushes to the barn to console Ellie and calm her down. Sometime later, Tommy visits Dina and Ellie. Now, before we go further, I would like to establish, obviously, Ellie and Dina, they moved from Jackson on a farm. It's a farm just outside of Jackson, and, Tommy and them come to visit her, I imagine. It's good. I think it's what they actually wanted together. They did want to farm together. They wanted a farm to live on and have a really nice life. They have their kid, they have everything they really want. But it's really, this is once again where revenge comes and gets in the way of everything that's good. So, and this is where Tommy comes and talks about when he visits the house. Despite his loss of mobility and eyesight, he is happy. The pair are doing well. However, he reveals that he actually came to ask the pair to pursue Abby again, having narrowed down her location. Dina insists the pair are done with that, which Ellie hesitantly agrees. Angered, Tommy berates Ellie and storms out, giving JJ to Ellie. Dina pursues Tommy and demands he never comes back to talk with Abby again. Tommy tells her to save it and rides off. You see the scene, it's just funny what they have. That night, Ellie stays up thinking about Joel, but by early morning, Dina comes downstairs to find Ellie packing her bag to leave. She asks Ellie to come back to bed, but Ellie reveals she has to go kill Abby. She believes that it would end her PTSD and enable her to eat and sleep again. Despite Dina's pleas, Ellie leaves for California, and Dina decides to take JJ and abandon the farm. Now, once again, a good thing going, and revenge kind of gets in the way of it, but it's not necessarily revenge. It's more the fact that Ellie has PTSD and she believes that killing Abby, which she didn't, by the way, I talked about that, she didn't kill Abby, which maybe, I don't think it helped anything. She didn't even kill Abby. She didn't even do what she went to go there for, which I think is stupid. She lost Dina and JJ in the process, and she didn't even kill Abby, which I understand the whole ending thing, but it's really stupid. But however, I digress. Ellie comes back, finds Dina and JJ gone, and now, how is this going to play out in a potential Last of Us Part 3? And we've talked about this before, how different things would play out. If there were to be Last of Us Part 3, I imagine we would get some kind of explanation of what happened to Dina and JJ, which I imagine they went back to Jackson, but I wonder if Ellie went back to Jackson and tried to talk to Dina and, stuff, or is that just their relationship gone? Maybe Ellie lives in Jackson but never sees Dina or JJ again. And Also, I imagine that it would probably fast forward a few years and have JJ all grown up and showing the story of JJ. But I'm not entirely sure. I haven't heard anything about Last of Us Part Three. It might not even happen. But I'm just saying for potential story plots. With what could happen in The Last of Us Part Three. So, well, I'm just saying potentiality. But here's my final opinion on Dina, and what I just my opinion on what I think about her, and as a Last of Us fan. Dina's a great character. She provides a great relationship with Ellie. I think she has a great relationship with Ellie. Of course, until the end, which whatever happened. She has a great relationship with Ellie when it was going. She is a great character, just a great character overall. Very important. Now, also you'll see she's very smart too. Like she was tracking down the WLF movements in Seattle. Back at the theater, she was kind of tracking the movements. I think she's very smart. She's very outspoken. She's not afraid to say what she thinks. She's very, great character. I think they did a good job. You know, given her story and everything, and yeah, I really like her character. So, comment down below what you guys think about Dina. You know, so yeah. With that being said, make sure to subscribe for more content, like the video, all the good stuff. Discord, Twitch, Instagram, links in the description. Hopefully, you guys are really enjoying this character analysis series. I plan on going it, with a bunch of different games. I have a lot of them planned, but yeah, it's a good little series we got going. So hopefully, you guys enjoy it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.